They should bring Happily Ever After back, right?
Right? Let's unpack the magic. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Sammy.
And we have a huge episode today, I feel. Ton of announcements coming out of Anaheim a couple weekends ago with the D23 Expo. And we are going to kind of recap some of the bigger bits of news.
Yes.
And kind of go through the panels day by day and just kind of give our reaction to some of the big Disney news and Marvel news and, Parks news that we were gifted
by Josh D'Amaro and the whole Disney team.
Yes. And I feel like there's just a lot to get into, so maybe just kind of dive right on into it.
Yeah, well, so we'll get into day one, which was movie panels.
Yep, and that started with the Disney, and not animation studios, but the motion picture studios, so live action studios. Yep. And they started off right away with a new trailer for Hocus Pocus, which I don't think you have seen.
No, we watched it together.
We watched it.
Initially, I wasn't going to watch it because I'm just kind of like one trailer and I'm good kind of person. Like, I don't like any kind of quote unquote spoilers. For me personally, like I like to experience like things as I'm watching the movie. So, so I did end up watching this with you.
And there's already been there was a teaser trailer out before, so we had seen that one. I think that the teaser trailers are usually like your one and done. That's all you want to.
Yeah.
But this one, we didn't get a whole lot more, but we did get a surprise appearance.
We did. Billy Butcherson is back.
He is back. Right at the end of the trailer, we get Billy Butcherson confirmed to be back in this. I'm very excited. I know you have not seen this clip, but they have released an official clip after D23 of Hocus Pocus. And it looks hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I'm not watching that.
I'm very excited for that.
I'm excited too, and we get it just in a couple weeks. Like it's coming out September 30th.
Yep. So we gotta brush up on Hocus Pocus, the original one.
Yes.
Which is always a fun time.
Yeah, I gotta watch that several times during this.
Maybe watch them like back to back.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And speaking of movies that they are kind of bringing back, we got the trailer and some official information on Disenchanted, which is the Enchanted sequel.
Yes.
We got a trailer for that one, and I'm really digging that.
I am too. And it's funny because I just watched Enchanted like only a couple years ago for the first time.
Yeah, I remember. Like I kind of introduced you to that.
Yeah. So, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed that movie. The singing was. I love the songs and the storyline and I'm
kind of digging like they're kind of hinting that like Giselle is going to be like turning into like the wicked stepmother.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know where this is going to go.
I don't know. But
we're interested to see what's going on with this movie. Once they announced it, I feel like forever ago that they were bringing the cast back for this.
Yes.
Very super excited. We are huge Idina Menzel fans here.
Yes, very much so.
And just Disney in general, obviously. So that'll be a good one.
I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
And then next up on the list, one of our favorite attractions in Disney World is getting a new movie.
I would say a reboot, kind of.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's been made a couple times.
Yes, the Haunted Mansion is getting a new movie. And speaking of me introducing you to Enchanted, you kind of introduced me to the original Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. My sister and I grew up watching that movie and we loved it. Not knowing like how like I guess bad it is. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I like it. I enjoy it for what it is.
I guess I never asked you this question. Like, did you know, like, growing up that it was based on a Disney attraction?
No. No, because I didn't know much about the parks growing up, so I had no idea.
You just knew it was an Eddie Murphy movie with a haunted house.
Yeah, and it was a Disney movie. Yeah. So no, I had no idea that it was based off a ride. But yeah, we watched that all the time growing up, and we really liked it.
And I really like. I think I remember like this little anecdote that I think one of the chairs in like the kind of great hall, like the dining room, like the sets of the actual Eddie Murphy movie, that chair is the chair that the Jack Sparrow animatronic sits on in Pirates. And I thought that was I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm like, it's confirmed. Like you can see like the same like carvings in the chair and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's really, really cool that like those two attractions kind of had that little bond there. But we are getting a reboot or a refresh, a new take on it. And there is a lot of stars in this movie that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
We have Rosario Dawson, love her from Rent. She is the live action Ahsoka. She was in Daredevil.
Yep. She played Claire. Yeah. Which I don't know if she's coming back in that. I hope so. We'll
get to that one, but I hope she's coming back for that. Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, who is awesome in Loki. Tiffany Haddish, we love her.
Yes.
Danny DeVito, which I think everybody
always
loves.
Always a good time. Yeah.
And then we had a surprise announcement right at the end of the panel.
Yeah.
We had a Doom buggy come out and turn around. And who was in that Doom buggy?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. I'm very excited to see this.
Yeah. So she's going to be playing Madame Leota. So yeah, are you excited for her?
I am. I'm very excited for her. I guess I didn't grow up knowing Jamie Lee Curtis as being like that queen of Scream. Like I grew up with her knowing her being from Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
I didn't realize too much later on. Like she has roots in like horror and like, you know, she's the Scream queen.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be playing Madame Leota, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
One additional casting note that we're not quite sure about here is the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah, played by Jared Leto. So
I'm not a huge fan of Jared Leto.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know who I would have picked to play the Hatbox Ghost, but it wouldn't have been him.
It wouldn't have been him.
So
give Chris Pratt another role. He's looking for some work or something. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, he is really creepy, and he plays that really like creepy, just kind of like mysterious character well, I guess.
Yeah, but
I don't like him as an actor in general.
Right. Yeah. And like the Hatbox Ghost, like, well, and I guess I don't really know like how, like, I mean, it's a Disney movie, so I don't think it's going to be like that scary. And like, so I hope they don't go like super scary with the Hatbox Ghost, because yeah, like he's a ghost, but I feel like I don't know, like I feel like there's like some kind of fun aspect with him as well. So hopefully they can kind of play on that too and don't go like overly creepy with it, I guess. And yeah.
And I feel like with the movie in general, just based on what we're seeing in the casting, is that obviously they are going for like kind of like a spooky film, but they are really introducing or making sure that they're pushing the comedy aspects of it. They have Tiffany Haddish, they have Danny DeVito, they have Jamie Lee Curtis. So like these are characters, or in Owen Wilson, these are actors and actresses that are just funny in general.
Right.
So hoping to see kind of both sides, like, you know, the front end of Mansion and back end of Mansion.
Yeah,
that's spooky at the beginning and funny at the end. So
yeah, because that plays into the ride as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch this one. So
we did get a couple other little announcements from the from the live action. We're getting a Mufasa prequel. So basically Mufasa's life before he became the King of Pride Rock. We'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the live action Lion King. And so I don't know if they're going to use like the same.
I'm sure they will. It looked like it.
And I don't really like that. So we'll see.
And you know, I don't know how many people were out here, you know, advocating or pushing for a live action Mufasa. But,
right.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then we got Snow White with that. I think they dropped some footage or something. They might have. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I just know Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Are going to be in it. So be interesting to see some more news come of that. But hands down, the biggest announcement that came out
star of this, the live action Little Mermaid teaser trailer. Oh my gosh.
It was phenomenal. I feel like and when people joke about like something breaking the internet, I think this one this one got close to, if not did break the internet.
I'm not like the biggest Little Mermaid fan, like the original animated one. Like it's fine. It's just not at the top of my list. So to see this remake, to see Halle Bailey, like to hear her sing, like just those few notes, I'm like, I got goosebumps. I had tears in my eyes, like
because I played it and you didn't know what it was.
No, I didn't, because I didn't realize it had dropped yet, and yeah, like I got emotional and I got all the feels.
Yeah, I think everything, like kind of how it's all accumulating is gonna like, for me, I honestly feel like this is probably gonna be one of the best live action remakes that Disney has ever done. I mean, they have Alan Menken coming back. They have Lin-Manuel Miranda coming back. They're writing 4 additional songs for this. We've obviously heard the little teaser with Halle Bailey singing Part of Your World. It was leaked on TikTok or online, a little bit more of an extended version of it. And like literal goosebumps. Yeah. Like she just sings the hell out of that song. I'm very excited for her. I think this was perfect casting. I don't have any issues with this casting at all. No, this it's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited for this.
And then I guess so. I think one of the best things to come from this trailer is watching all like the little like Black and brown kids like watching the trailer for the first time, and
like that's all my For You pages on TikTok right now.
Like my heart cannot handle that. Like it just like every time I see it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I love it so much, and this is why like representation matters. Like it just, I don't know, it reminds me of like when Black Panther was coming out, and it was like a whole Black cast, and like you get like these like younger like Black kids like going to the movies.
Well, even
and,
in like the first trailer of like Black Panther, like you see this superhero come out and he's got like his suit and his armor and his mask on, and all of a sudden the mask kind of flips up on Chadwick Boseman and you realize, oh, there's a Black man underneath there. And like people, like you can't relate to like a super powered vibranium wielding hero, but you can relate to that character because of what that brings. And like you said, just seeing like all these little kids, boys and girls, like even like I had been seeing, video of kids in their teens and early 20s seeing this and like realizing like, oh, like she looks like me. Right. And like that's super awesome. And I'm very excited to see where just how big this gets, because I do honestly feel like this is going to be Disney's best live action.
Oh, I agree. And I think this is what live action movies are meant to do. Like you have a classic like The Little Mermaid, and I think some people might argue like you don't touch those or whatever, but I think if you can bring this kind of diversity and just elevate it so much, and just by the cast alone, and like this is what they're meant to do. Like, make the original even better, I think.
And I feel like in general, like, I think the live action movies kind of get like a bad rep. A lot of people don't like them. I personally do really like them. I really like Beauty and the Beast. I think it is a beautiful movie. I'm okay with, the way that they've portrayed the characters in that movie. It looks like we got a little like sneak peek of Flounder in the teaser trailer. So I'm very excited. I keep saying that. I'm super excited. I'm super pumped.
So excited.
It's gonna be it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be fantastic.
The cast is just, you have Melissa McCarthy playing Ursula. Daveed Diggs as Sebastian.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Gosh. And Lynn's gonna be in it. I think he plays the chef, doesn't he?
Oh, does he?
I think so.
I knew that he was gonna be writing music. But that'll be awesome. Like it's like they're really pulling out all the stops for this to be as successful as it can be. And just seeing like you said, all these little Black and brown children, boys, girls, and not even like children of color, like even just seeing any child like react to this and be like, oh, she's so beautiful, oh, she like can really sing well. Like I really like, I remember like this one little girl, I think she was like 4 or 5, and she had dreads in her hair with like red beads, and she like was watching it and her mom's recording her, and she's like, she's got hair like me. And I'm just like, that's what this is meant to be. This is what it's for.
It just makes me that just makes me cry, and I love it. And yeah, because I mean, I guess like I don't know, Princess Tiana was 2009 as like the first Black princess, and she was a frog for half the movie. So you know, I love that Disney's like, you know, getting
more representation.
Yeah, like and if you were upset with a Black mermaid, like I don't know, shame on you. Like I don't know. Yeah. I'm not here for that. So.
No, me either. All right, so we're gonna kind of turn from the live action to the animated.
Yes.
Realm of things. We got Pixar was the next panel that came out. Got a couple bits of information.
Yeah, like
nothing huge.
Yeah, nothing huge, and nothing that we really know like a ton about, I guess. So we have Elemental and Elio.
Elio. The concepts of them sound really good. I have a feeling that Elemental is going to be kind of like Zootopia, but not with like animals, but with like elements.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of digging the posters and the concept art that I'm seeing. It kind of seems like it's like a love story of two elements that really don't go or aren't supposed to go together.
Yeah, because it's fire and water is what we've been seeing the most of.
So like, that'll be really interesting. Art, so. And Elio, briefest description that I can find out is an 11-year-old kid that somehow becomes the planetary ambassador of Earth to aliens. Sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
We don't really have much to go other than that. I think they released like one little bit of concept art for it, so that's coming in the next couple of years. So
yeah.
But the biggest news for us anyway out of this panel was that we are getting a sequel.
Yes, we are getting Inside Out 2.
Yes. Amy Poehler came out on stage with Pete Docter, essentially said that the movie is going to follow Riley as she's grown up.
Yeah, so she'll be a teenager in
now.
This movie.
And we will be introduced to 2 new emotions.
Yeah.
So
they didn't say what they were.
No.
So
I gotta feel like I have a feeling that one of them is going to be like love or like some sort of
sure,
because I mean she's gonna fall like I have a feeling like Riley's going to like have a crush on somebody, and then that's when like boop, there's gonna be a new emotion that just pops up. I don't know about the rest of the cast. I know Amy Poehler is coming back. I hope the rest of the cast comes back for this.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that all pans out.
Yeah, I'm excited because I love Inside Out. So
yeah.
We'll see how this one goes. All right, and then we have Disney Animation.
Yep, so Disney Studios Animation.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a new one. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Iwaju? Yeah, so I apologize for not saying that right. So again, another movie we don't know a ton about, but it sounds
really
cool. Good.
They've partnered with basically an African-based animation company to create this movie.
Yeah.
The director said it's a love letter to Lagos, Nigeria. I'm getting a lot of Wakanda vibes out of it.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people are really going to tune into this one and really, really like this film. Plus, there's a cute little salamander character that has like an electric tail.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I don't know anything more than that.
Disney and those cute little characters. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one. And then we have Strange World, which
this is going to be a meh movie to me. I need to see it, but I'm not super excited to see this movie.
I'm not like super jazzed about it, I guess, at the moment. So I will obviously go see it. But yeah, and then the next one that I'm really excited for is Wish.
I feel like this was the crown jewel of what they there's a reason why this one was kind of like presented last.
Yes. Yeah, so this one explores the kingdom of wishes and based on like the wishing star.
Yes.
So like like that song in Pinocchio, like
When You Wish Upon a Star. Yeah. So it's that star, the story of that star.
Yeah.
Ariana DeBose is going to be starring in this.
Yes, queen.
She is going to be playing a character named Asha.
Yeah.
We're gonna declare it right now. This is gonna be the newest Disney princess. There's no way she's not gonna be a Disney princess. I'm very excited. She looks like, to me, like she kind of looks like Isabella from Encanto.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
And obviously Ariana's voice just soars. She sang a song at the presentation, and it sounds incredible. Music by Ingrid Michaelson. I don't know much about her, but I know she's won Grammy, so she's obviously fits to write Disney music.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite part of this,
oh my gosh,
is
the ever returning Disney star.
He's this generation's John Ratzenberger. Alan Tudyk will be playing a character called Valentino, who is a pajama wearing goat. And I think this is going to be one of Alan Tudyk's best roles.
I don't know. This movie just sounds amazing. And
it looks incredible from the
and
art.
I don't know, like, because obviously there's that nighttime show, Wishes, which ran for, I don't know, like 14 years.
What if that's like the end credit song to the movie?
I was thinking that. I'm like, are they going to tie anything in from that? So I don't know, because that kind of like, you know, on the same vibes. So
maybe.
But super excited for this movie. It's just right up our alley.
Yeah,
like
it's going to be it'll be one of those. I feel like it's gonna be one of those movies like Moana or Encanto. Like we're just going to like really put everything we have into this movie and just really get invested in it. Like I said, I feel I'm getting strong princess vibes from this movie. The city that's that's kind of conveyed in the concept art of this kingdom kind of looks like Corona from Tangled, but with like kind of like a Grecian feel to it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, if like Tangled and Hercules had like a kingdom together, like that's what it would be.
And then it's just, and then like a Disney nighttime firework show going on in the background or something. It's just, I don't know.
It comes out sometime within the 100-year anniversary of Disney. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's an exact date on it. I didn't see that at all, but I'm very excited for this one. It's going to be incredible. I think it's going to be one of those movies that we're going to put up, and it's going to be
I think it's going to be one of our top movies of like I think it's like the next year or two. But so very excited.
Let's see where this one goes.
Okay, so moving on to day 2 of...
Yeah, that was all day 1.
Yeah, that was all day 1. So that was a lot of stuff. So day 2, Disney Plus and Marvel.
Yeah, and they also did a lot of Star Wars and like Lucasfilm and some Indiana Jones. We're not going to focus too much on that.
Yeah, not too much. Well, and there really wasn't... I don't know, to me, like, not like a ton of stuff for, like, I guess, us personally.
Yeah, at least that piqued our interest. Yeah. So we're going to kind of bypass some of that. We did get a new Indiana Jones footage that we weren't able to see because we weren't there.
Yeah.
And some new Star Wars stuff, kind of went over Andor. Some new Star Wars animation stuff, but we're gonna kind of stick with a show from Disney Plus and a lot of Marvel.
Just because
that's kind of our bread and butter here on the show.
Yes. So the Santa Clauses.
Yes.
The new sequel.
The sequel to the original trilogy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what you call like a 4-part movie.
Yeah, I guess. Well, this is gonna be a series too.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's a series.
So
I keep saying movie.
So it's going to be a follow-up series after the events of the original trilogy of Santa Claus movies, which you introduced to me a couple years back. And that's always been kind of like our go-to, one of our go-to movies to watch during the holidays.
Yeah, because you didn't grow up watching the Santa Claus movies. So...
No. But I really enjoy them. Tim Allen plays Scott Kelvin or... Santa Claus. And he is returning. I believe his wife, I can't remember her name, she's returning. And we also got one other bit of news of a returning character.
Bernard is back. I love Bernard. So Santa Claus is retiring and they're looking for the new Santa Claus.
And he is hosting some open interviews, it sounds like. We got a little... we did get a trailer for this one. Mm-hmm. And we got a cameo from Peyton Manning. Ho, ho, homaha. So this will be really fun. It'll be just like... I feel like it's just going to be kind of the same vein of the original movies. Like, they don't take themselves too seriously. It's just kind of, just a fun adventure type of ride.
Yeah. I love well, we love Christmas, and like I'm just here for like Christmas movies, and yeah, like I don't really take them too seriously, and I don't know. I think this one's just gonna be
this will be super fun, and it's nice to see Tim Allen come back. Like, you know, I think this will be the nice little cherry on top of things to kind of close out this, I guess at this point, franchise.
Yeah, and hopefully it's good. Because I think between the 3 Santa Claus movies, like the third one is like my least favorite.
Yeah.
So
and it had potential because I do like Martin Short, and he was in that. So, but yeah, I would rank them probably 1, 2, 3 in that order.
Yeah.
But 2 is really good as well.
Yeah,
I really like.
I do really enjoy 2.
But we'll see where this one kind of ranks, and this will be a new series coming to Disney Plus later this year.
Yes.
And then kind of turning over to the biggest panel for us on day 2 was the Marvel panel. And I got a kick out of this one.
What I wouldn't have given to just be in the audience that day.
It was kind of a joke that, you know, Kevin Feige wanted to come out here and have these splashy opening numbers like Disney or Pixar might always have. And then kind of got quiet for a second, and then he's like, oh no, all of a sudden, yeah, here comes a full-on band that comes out, and they recreate I Can Do This All Day from Hawkeye, well, from the Rogers musical that was featured in Hawkeye. Way to go, Marvel. Oh my gosh. To go. That was
amazing.
I loved it. You can watch it online. It's so cool.
Yeah.
They really just went like, hey, it's D23. We haven't been here in 3 years. We're going to give you something that you didn't expect to get. And it was awesome.
Yeah, that was, yes. Hats off to you.
Yes. So we got a few bits of information on some new projects or kind of already established projects. We had the cast of Loki come out. We've got the cast of Echo. And Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox was there for Daredevil.
Oh my gosh. That is probably like top like things I'm excited for is the new Daredevil
and
series.
We're in the midst of watching She-Hulk right now. I think episode 4 just came out as the time of recording.
Yeah.
And it was 5.
I think it was 5, yeah.
It was episode 5. And right at the end, I guess spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, they tease Daredevil's cowl, his helmet.
Yeah, his helmet.
In just the last like 2 seconds of the episode. So we're getting so close to seeing Daredevil back. I know he's there. I've seen footage of him like in like the mid-season trailer for it. So I'm very excited to see Daredevil come back. And Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is just so freaking menacing.
Yes, like he is so perfect for this role. Like like
I thought, like we watched him in the original Daredevil Netflix series, and he was just he was a monster in that movie. So then, or in those film or that series. So when they came over and he came out in Hawkeye, I'm just like, well, are they gonna like kind of like, I don't want to say like boil him down? Are they gonna kind of like scale him back a little bit?
Yeah, like, no, he was kind of water it down, but no.
Yeah, he was full on crime boss, and I'm very excited to see a very gritty Daredevil and Kingpin show again on Disney Plus. So, and we were kind of talking about this before. Obviously, She-Hulk takes place in
Los Angeles.
Why is Daredevil there?
We're like trying to figure out what's going on. So I don't really have too much. I mean, I had said, well, maybe like, does Kingpin like need an attorney and he's gonna go to She-Hulk for something? Because
he's super powered.
Yeah.
And he does have that at the end, the last time we saw him, he was shot in the face by Echo, and he's still roaming around, so he's got to have some sort of superhuman ability,
right? So I don't know. So that was kind of like my initial thought, but then I don't know what he would really need a lawyer for, because he's like a crime boss. Like
I'm sure he has.
He can go and get stuff taken care of like however he wants. So I don't know. Like
I guess my going theory is that he like moved away from the crime world in New York for just a hot minute. He's like, I got shot in the face by my adopted daughter. I just need to like let things cool down in New York before I go back. And now he's out in LA, and he sees She-Hulk, and he's trying to go after She-Hulk, but now so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're
hopefully
very excited, but kind of going off topic.
Yeah, a little bit.
But we love She-Hulk so much too, and we did get some She-Hulk news, which we'll get to. She-Hulk related news in tomorrow in the Day 3 panel, but Daredevil Born Again is going to be so cool.
So cool.
But two things that I'm really excited for. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania cast that came out, and they didn't release any of the footage for it. But what I can tell from the footage, Kang looks menacing. Like, this is a Kang that he's a variant. He has just gone over all these different timelines and has just conquered all these different timelines. Mm-hmm. There's a line in like whatever footage was out at D23. I think it was also out at San Diego Comic-Con, where he looks to Ant-Man and he's like, "Have I killed you before?" And it's like everyone that has seen it says it just sounds and looks so terrifying. Yeah. So I'm very excited. Like, he's going to be the Thanos of these next couple of phases here. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, and this kicks off phase 5.
Yes.
So I'm excited for this one. And then another big thing that we got was the Secret Invasion trailer.
That looks really, really good.
That looks so good.
It reminds me a lot of like that kind of like that spy espionage thriller that we got with the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
So it'd be really cool to see that. We got a couple returning characters. Nick Fury's back. Mm-hmm. We are impatiently waiting for that one to come out.
Yeah, that one's gonna be good.
But then I feel probably the biggest announcement that came out of the Marvel panel, at least the most noteworthy information, was some information on the movie Thunderbolts.
Yeah. So we got we know like who's in the Thunderbolts as of right now. And you've got some opinions on it. So I guess for those that aren't aware, the Thunderbolts is a new movie that's coming out, obviously for Marvel, ties into the MCU. In the comics, it's essentially a team of characters of anti-heroes. Yeah. Kind of thing along the lines of like Venom or Deadpool. Where they're not like, like a Captain Rogers type of character. Right. But they're not like a full-on like villain. Yeah, they're not like a full villain.
They're kind of right in the middle of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But a lot of these characters that we're going to see kind of lean more towards the villainous side. But in the comics, basically this group kind of goes on a little bit of a redemption arc, or they do things to kind of shed some light and kind of change the tone of themselves. So like they're not, necessarily a villain anymore. They kind of try to go on a redemption arc a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've seen these characters come up so far in the MCU.
Yeah, they've kind of have been recruited by a lady.
Yes.
Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Mm-hmm. Or Val.
Or Val, for sure. Yeah, so, and she's kind of got that, she's not, like, a good person.
Right. She's the Nick Fury of this team. Yeah. But she definitely seems like she's got some ulterior motives going on. There's a reason she's probably recruiting not like the shiniest apples of the bunch.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice way to put it. So our lineup
that we know so far.
Yeah. So we have Ghost
from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second Ant-Man movie.
She was like the quote unquote villain. Like, I don't know. Like, I know she was like the bad person, but I mean,
I don't feel like she was a bad person.
I don't know. I guess like
she was the antagonist.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best word.
But we were kind of talking in the car last night when we were driving. Like a lot of these characters that we're going to kind of go and talk about, they're the antagonist, but they're not necessarily like the bad villain. Like we kind of agree with some of like the motives.
Some of them, except for one. Okay. So we have Ghost. We have Taskmaster. Taskmaster.
Yep. The antagonist from Black Widow.
Yes. And we have John Walker.
Okay. Yeah. Now this is where we're like, okay, he's not gonna get a redemption here.
No, like I don't like this guy.
He's just the worst. And like he plays the character so well.
He does.
Because like you hate him so much.
I remember watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and like, you know, he wanted to be Captain America so bad, and like he just didn't. Like
every single scene that he was in, I just wanted to like go up to the screen and just punch him
his
so
face,
bad.
yeah.
I just like, oh, he's just the worst. But that what makes him a good character, because like people just hate him.
Yeah, so he's in there. We have Alexi back,
yes,
Red
the
Guardian.
Red Guardian. That'd be so fun.
Yes. Yelena. And then we have the Winter Soldier himself,
Bucky Barnes. Now, we have kind of disagreeing opinions on this, because you don't like that he's in this lineup.
Okay, I don't like that Yelena and Bucky are in this, because I love them. I think they're good characters. I think they have good hearts, and I just, like, when you group them with John Walker, like, I have a problem with that. So I don't know, because I love those two so much. Like
I have a feeling that Yelena, especially with like the arc that she's been on so far, and Bucky, with everything that he's gone through, they're really going to take the reins as the lead of this team, even more so than Val kind of pulling the strings on the back end side. Be interesting to see how they kind of mingle all these characters together, because I feel like Ghost and the U.S. agents aren't going to get along. I can't see them getting along. I can just see the Red Guardian making fun of the U.S. agents.
I am so excited for Red Guardian to be in this. Like, I don't know. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like Black Widow kind of, like, people just didn't really like that movie, I guess.
And then Marvel said, do I have a movie for you? We're going to put all the characters from this movie.
I know there's 3 characters from Black Widow in here, and I don't know, and I love that movie. Like, I love Yelena, so
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this all entails. Were you surprised by the cast? Were you surprised by somebody not being announced in there right now?
Yes, I was particularly waiting to hear about Baron Zemo.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling, based on kind of where we see him last and how things are going with Zemo, that he might be the villain that they're going up against, which is I don't think that he was announced particularly within this lineup. It did seem, though, in the lineup cast that they had on the screen from the concept art, that there might have been a spot missing.
Okay.
Somewhere in that lineup. It didn't look like quite, symmetrical on both ends. It looks like there was a spot for a character that they didn't announce yet. I know that Zemo's going to be in this movie, because Marvel has accidentally kind of confirmed this. If you go on to Marvel Entertainment's website and go to the page where they talk about this, literally the URL that you would type in to go to that page.
Yeah.
It says Zemo Yelena. Like, he's literally in the URL, but he's not in the article. So like, why would they purposely put Zemo's name there? So I think that he's going to be in the movie. He was always going to be in the movie, but I think maybe just the way that the fans have accepted characters like Yelena and Red Guardian, and then them trying to bring in Ghost and Taskmaster, maybe they've just kind of did some reshuffling of that movie or that script. So Zemo's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, I wholeheartedly feel that Zemo's going to be in it. I just think that maybe he's going to be this kind of main adversary or antagonist to the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah.
We both really don't know too much about the Thunderbolts. It's not really a comic that I've had a lot of exposure to. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously.
Yeah, and there's really not a whole lot on like the movie itself, like the plot or whatever. So
yeah, I think that starts filming next year. So they're still in pre-production, and they're still probably finalizing scripts. So I think that's maybe why Zemo's not in there, because they're still like changing the script or tweaking some things before they get into starting to film. So it'll be interesting, but mark my words, Zemo will be in it. All right, so that's going to wrap up day 2 of the D23 Expo, and day 3 is focusing all on the Disney parks, and we got some incredible news right off the bat.
It's happening. It's happening. We're getting Happily Ever After back.
Yes, Josh D'Amaro came out after a live performance of Jordan Fisher singing Happily Ever After.
Okay, and did we not call this on the day, like literally like an hour before?
Yes, I don't know where we like at Costco or something.
Costco.
And we're driving, and I'm just like, what if he just came out and like didn't do anything, and all of a sudden they're just like, and Happily Ever After is coming back, and the crowd went wild.
Yeah, and like
I said it jokingly because
yes.
I did not think that they were going to bring this back.
I had faith. Okay, guys, Jordan Fisher back in like July, like the middle of July, posted a video on his Twitter account. Like, they should bring Happily Ever After back, right, guys? Like that should come back
because it was right around the time that we did our Happily Ever After podcast, which you should go listen to if you haven't yet.
Yes. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, he wouldn't just randomly post that without a reason. And so I'm like, this is D23. It's gonna be there. And then come to find out, he was there at the expo. Like, I found out on Saturday. And then the parks panel was Sunday. And I'm like, no way. Like,
and so then I'm just trying to tempt the fans here, and I'm just like, no, he's just there because he's gonna be at a panel.
Yeah,
he's just a Disney fan. He just wants to be there.
And I'm like, no. There's too much aligning right now. I had on my Living My Happily Ever After shirt that day. I was manifesting, like, but also like not trying to get my hopes up too much because like I was very excited. Like, I just, oh my gosh, like
I think as soon as you heard him start singing that song, you knew.
My gosh,
and like I wish I would have had my phone out for this because like you were just like I don't think you were like you were having an out of body experience. Like you weren't breathing. Like you were just like floating on cloud 9. Like,
oh my gosh.
I don't think that I could have pulled you down.
Like I was like not okay, but I was like so okay at the same time. Like I don't even know because like it turns over quickly and like the song had like he was already singing like by the time it switched over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening, and like it goes through the whole song, and I'm just like, okay, they're not just playing this just to play it, right? And then like Josh D'Amaro comes off and just like. Right off the bat, guys,
let's get to an announcement. We're bringing Happily Ever back.
Gosh, I was sobbing so bad. Like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, the one thing that I really wanted from Disney, and it was the first thing that they announced at the parks. Like, I'm just okay. I love Happily Ever After so much, and like, just the thought of it coming back, and I hope they like, because I know they're gonna update it and everything, so I hope they do like. A really good job with it, and I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, they're gonna update it. I think we're gonna get it all the way down Main Street, just like they did with Enchantment. I'm so glad it's happening to you. I'm still coming from. I love Enchantment. I do love Enchantment. I will be sad to see it go, but it is fact that Happily Ever After is the better show.
It's the
superior show, and. We did back last year around this time when Happily Ever After was ending.
We went back and forth so much about going
to it, and I did make a promise to you that
it was the night that Jordan Fisher posted that video, and
I said if they ever do bring it back, because I was so confident that they weren't going to bring it back. I'm like, if they ever do bring it back, I will take you down there and we'll make sure to see it. It won't be opening.
I did say the first show. It doesn't have to be the first show, but hopefully, like within the first like month or so maybe
we'll see what
of it coming back. But I just like I am not emotionally ready to like watch that in person again. But I am.
You're right. You're right.
I just oh my gosh, like I am so excited. Like. Yeah, and that's a wrap on the parks panel, guys. Like that's all we needed.
We have tons of more parks news here.
No, there's so much. There's so much to cover.
And because there's so much to cover, we're just gonna go through it as the information was given to us. So this is going to be jumping around from Disney World to Disneyland, to overseas and back and forth. But it's only because that's the way that we were presented the information, and I feel like that's just going to be the easiest way to kind of like present it to you, to the listeners here. So after Sammy was done sobbing and could compose herself, we did get Jon Favreau, who came out on stage. And spoke with Josh D'Amaro for a little bit and announced that for it seemingly just for a limited time.
And it
And
sounds
it's
like
only
at
it is only at
Disneyland.
Disneyland. That not only will Mando be coming to Galaxy's Edge,
he has a little friend.
but he's got a little friend. Grogu will be carried around in a satchel throughout the park.
Yeah.
And this is an animatronic Grogu. It does move.
Oh
it does
gosh.
speak. It's got the little hairs on the top. Its ears move. Like it's fully animatronic.
So cute.
It is freaking cute. But it's only in Disneyland.
Of course.
Of course. It won't be the first time or the last time we will say it's only in Disneyland for here. This is really, really cool. We've talked about it very, very briefly, bits and pieces. Galaxy's Edge was always meant to be just like canonically only takes place in the new sequel series.
Yeah, so they don't really bring like other characters like
right.
from,
so it was only supposed to be, I think, between episode 7 and 8. That's where like this was supposed to take place. This is where like when you go into the story, this is the time frame or the timeline that you're in.
And I think Disney is kicking themselves for that.
Yes, and I think with this, they're fully realizing like we need to get away from that.
Yeah, they need to do what they're doing in Avengers Campus.
That anybody can come in, and anyone from any timeline can come in here. So the fact that we have confirmation, we've seen already that Boba Fett has been in Galaxy's Edge before in Disneyland, and now we're going to get Mando and Grogu. That opens up the door to see more characters like maybe Princess Leia walking around. We've seen R2-D2 a little bit kind of going around, but maybe a C-3PO, maybe Darth Vader's walking through. What do you think?
Misa would love to see Jar Jar.
So I think that would be perfect for this area. Just anybody, any character from the Star Wars characters. Like if you see like Ahsoka walking through.
Oh my gosh, Padme.
Yeah. Like it would.
Can you imagine the outfit changes she could have? Like,
oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I just open it up. Anything Star Wars is fair game for.
And that's how they do it over at Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
And speaking of Avengers Campus, the next big announcement that they had, we had confirmation from Kevin Feige that we have the Hulk coming to Avengers Campus. Now this one is seeming for a limited time.
Yeah.
I don't know how often that Hulk will be there. He I believe at the time of recording should be there sometime in the next week.
Yeah, because I think Josh tomorrow was like, yeah, he'll be there next week or something.
Yeah.
So
we should be seeing a huge, like 10-foot Hulk roaming Avengers Campus soon. He is going to be in his Quantum outfit from Endgame.
Yep.
And I think that's more or less because they needed a helmet over his face, because you can't have I think a talking Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're quite ready for that, but they have been working quite extensively. And we've seen this even as far back as the Imagineering story on Disney Plus when that first came out 3 years ago. They were working on Project EXO, which is basically just big costumes or kind of frames for costume characters that are light enough that anyone can kind of support them.
Yep.
And that's exactly what this Hulk is. It's one of those Project EXO characters, and it's so cool like seeing like Josh and Kevin Feige, who are taller, in real life, and then just seeing like a 10-foot Hulk just kind of towering over them.
He looks so cool.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get more of maybe the Yeti coming to Expedition Everest and walking around there.
That would be awesome.
Or even maybe more of kind of a real life-size Wreck-It Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
The possibilities are really endless with this character.
Yeah.
With this technology that they've come up with. So it'd be really cool. I'm really excited to see Hulk kind of in real life at Avengers Campus here. But the other big information that came out of Avengers Campus from Kevin Feige was that we got more information on the new e-ticket ride.
Yeah, which this is kind of changing from what they had originally said was going to be the e-ticket.
Yes. I think the original e-ticket was a battle through Wakanda. Yeah. And it kind of almost looked like you were on a jetpack.
Yeah.
Now this one, it kind of seems like you're in a more stationary vehicle, kind of like a rideless track vehicle, a la Remy's or Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
But you are coming into this battle with different characters across different multiverses. trying to defeat King Thanos.
Yes.
This looks menacing.
This looks so like amazing.
Basically, this is the Thanos from Infinity War and Endgame that won, that beat the Avengers. And Kevin Feige said the Avengers aren't too happy about that, and they have reached over the multiverse to pull in characters. So we had a huge
there was a poster,
and you saw characters like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and the Dora Milaje. And not only did you have Captain America, but you had Falcon, well, Sam Wilson as Captain America.
And then you had Peggy Carter.
And you had America Chavez. And like they're all going up to try to defeat King Thanos. This is still years out in advance. I'm hoping that they stick with this one because I'm very excited to see how this one looks.
Yeah, I am too.
But this is going to be the new e-tickets attraction in Avengers Campus. They know that they need to expand. They know they need to add something else to that. And, you know, with everything that's going on with this multiverse. And that kind of lends into Avengers Campus in general, because for the most part, like when you have a new character that's comes onto a Disney Plus show, you usually see them
right away in the parks.
Right. Yeah. And that hasn't happened with She-Hulk.
Yeah, that hasn't.
But I'm wondering if they're waiting for a red and yellow cowled blind lawyer character to finally make an appearance on the show before we start seeing that character in Avengers Campus. Maybe. Who knows? So that'd be really, really cool. Sticking with DCA, we did get a couple new, or Disneyland in general, the resort over there. We got a couple new announcements.
Yes.
First one is that Pacific Wharf is changing.
Yes, it's turning into San Francisco.
Yes.
From Big Hero 6.
That's kind of like an eating district there. They're going to change it over to Big Hero 6 themed. I don't think they're going to be able to put like any sort of a ride or attraction.
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. It's still going to be cool. The only thing I was just like, are they still going to have the quesadilla tacos there? Because those were like one of my favorite things that we ate. But no, we were really excited because I feel like Big Hero 6 doesn't get a lot of love in the parks. So this is really fun and I think really fitting for that part of the park. So I'm excited to see what they'll do there. I don't know if maybe they'll have like maybe a little meet and greet area. That would be amazing to meet them over there. So, but they didn't say anything about that. So
and then going kind of across the Esplanade to Disneyland, we did get an update on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. They did confirm that they are getting new scenes.
Yeah, which we had kind of heard before. So it's going to be a little bit different than the one in Disney World, which I like. You know, I like when they kind of have like the same rides, but then I do like if they're a little bit different. So and I'm excited to see what the scenes are.
And the queue looks really cool. It looks like it's going to be devoted to all things Mickey, and kind of Mickey throughout the ages. So that'll be really, really fun. But I think the biggest announcement, I guess, ride-wise, came with some more updates on Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yes. So there was something that you called.
Yes.
When we did our dig a little deeper.
Yes, if you go back and recall that episode, when we talked about like what we wanted to see in this new attraction, I initially said like, well, maybe, you know, a lot of people are kind of rooting for having the lift hill going up to that final descent down to be I think a lot of people were kind of wanting it to be Friends on the Other Side or Dr. Facilier.
That's what I've heard the most.
An intellectual said no, that should be Mama Odie's.
Yes.
And from the original concept art, it looked like that was going to be a tree with the bone in it. They've kind of scrapped that, but it still looks like it should have been Mama Odie's. I'm like, no. You're going to go up there and it's going to be all like beautiful lights and you're going to see all the bottles that come down from her ceiling.
Those colorful glass bottles.
All the colorful glass bottles. And it's going to be that big momentous push down the hill. It's going to be something that's going to be exciting, not frightening.
Yeah.
Yes, it was right.
What did we see in the concept art?
We saw in the concept
art. You can see those glass bottles up right at the top of that lift.
Yes, not only in the animated concept art, but in the actual, they had a full model of the Disneyland version of it. You could see the little bottles up on top of the hill with the lights kind of flashing through. They kind of confirmed that it'll be a sort of new like mist technology or a fog technology that'll kind of help create a lot of like the experience up there. Your boy got it right.
I'm so excited.
That's arriving late 24.
Yeah, which we already kind of figured. Like it said, well, I don't know if it said like late 24 initially, but we already knew it was 2024. So
the concept art looks really, really awesome. The model of it looks really beautiful. They're gonna add, it looks like a lot of brand new trees to make it look more of like a bayou area. Lots of new like nighttime lighting packages. Looks like some like lily pads are gonna like kind of light up, and it's gonna really look really, really beautiful at night. And then we got a big water tower in there. So I think the new kind of storyline of the ride is that Tiana is making a recipe, and she needs like this one secret ingredient. And we need to go help her find this last, hard to find ingredient.
So we have to go through the bayou on the adventure. So super excited for this ride. Like I just think it's just gonna be beautiful, like the storytelling. Like I don't know, I'm excited for like all the animatronics, like everything. Like this ride is gonna be amazing.
I thought I heard like it was like somewhere like almost like 40 new characters or something was going to be in this. There's a lot of new characters that they're going to introduce into this ride, or kind of recreate with these animatronics. So it'll be really, really fun. And we did get confirmation of who's going to be voicing this ride.
It sounds like all the
original cast.
The cast, all the actors, they're coming back for this.
And we kind of knew that Tiana, Anika Rose was going to be voicing, and Mama Odie, but the entire cast, Louis and Naveen, they're all coming back, all going to be voicing these characters in this show. So in this attraction. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be just a wild ride. I guess I want to skip over this little bit of sad news, and I want to keep going to something. I want to feel good for a little bit longer.
Okay. So we got a very exciting announcement about a very friendly, imaginative purple friend.
Yes. I thought at this point in the panel, we were getting confirmation that they were going to update Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Yeah.
We did not get that announcement, but we did get the confirmation that we are going to be able to hug Figment, and we're going to be able to meet Figment and have a meet and greet with Figment again. Something I've never experienced.
No.
I'm so excited. I am a Figment stan. I absolutely love Figment. And we've talked about it before that even though that ride is kind of a bad ride in some people's eyes, like it's always a must ride for us.
It's the only Figment ride we've known. So
it's the only one we've known. So I'm super excited. I want to be there as soon as we can to see Figment and meet Figment and give Figment a hug. And
I'm so excited for that. And then the other very exciting news for Walt Disney World, we are getting the Hatbox Ghost,
which is long overdue.
I know. I don't know why they didn't put him in there like years ago.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because like these two announcements, like they're not huge, but like they're ones I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah. Like if Disney could have like did more of like these like smaller kind of announcements, I think that would have been like really fun. But anyways, very excited for Hatbox Ghost to be coming. So
I guess a little bit. Let's go to some disappointing news now. Something that we've been waiting for a while now was Tron to open up, and I guess you more than me have been hopeful that it might be open for our November trip.
Yeah, just with all the testing that they've been doing, there's like the big equipment around the grounds have gone away because they've been doing like a lot of like groundwork and like kind of cleaning things up. So I'm just like maybe our November trip.
And I was saying don't get your hopes up. It's not going to happen. Like they're going to wait on this one till early next year. Like there's no need for them to put it out. Yeah. And we did get the confirmation that Tron will not be opening until spring 2023. Yeah, But
that's okay.
I had a laugh. I was we were at the store the other day, and I was kind of scrolling through my phone, and someone on Twitter said that from the time it took them to announce Tron to the time they finished Tron, kids who were born when they announced the Tron ride will now be tall enough, or could be tall enough, to actually ride the ride. That's how long it took them.
What year was that announced?
I think it was 2017.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too, but I wasn't sure if that was accurate. I'm like, that's just insane.
A kid will be 6 years old, which at that point they might be able to get the 48-inch height requirement that is supposed, that is for Tron. Yeah. So, like, took them 6 years to finally get this thing. I know COVID happened, but I mean, it's still 6 years for this ride.
Yeah, that's insane. And it's a copy ride. Like, it wasn't even like a brand new ride. So that's just
copycat from over the seas. Yeah, from overseas. So
that's just mind blowing. Maybe a little frustrating, but it is what it is. And I like that. The next time we go, like after our November trip, there'll be something new, and that's always the case. Like, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. And the other bit of disappointing news is that Harmonious, our number one favorite thing to do in Disney World, it is just, I feel, the best entertainments, anything that they have going on in the parks, will be coming to an end.
I don't understand. Like, they were hyping it up so much.
This is what you get. This is what happens when you
trade-off?
This is the trade-off. You get happily ever after back, but then you have to get rid of Harmonious.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Hopefully they can do I think it's going to be good. I think the new show's still going to be good. But I just like all the work and like the soundtrack for Harmonious, like all the work they put into that, like to have it only run for
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a little disappointing.
It's very disappointing. A little
heartbreaking.
I feel like now I finally feel like a true Disney fan, where Disney has given me something I truly love and then snatches it away. So we did get that confirmation, and then shortly after D23, we also got a confirmation via the Disney website that they are ending Kite Tales, which I do believe was the number one favorite thing for us to do in Animal Kingdom when we did our bracket, or at least it made it to the finals. It made it through
the finals, but it was like the original Kite Tales. Like, I know they've kind of watered it down, and like it's just been like a quick 5-minute like pass by kind of show as of late.
But the original, but Kite Tales, as we know it and has it what it has come to, will officially be ending on the 30th of September. So R.I.P. So
yeah, and I don't remember what they said for Harmonious. I thought they said I'm assuming, the concept for it.
I'm assuming that it'll stick around for the right up to the 50th.
Yeah, but then like the new show, like the concept, did they say?
I don't know if they did announce anything on that. It's just going to be part of their 100-year celebration.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm assuming there's still, because people are just like, yes, they're going to get rid of the barges now, and I'm like, no, they are not. They did not do all that work, spend all that money on those barges, just for a year and a half show, and then they're sticking around.
No, those barges are there until they start like falling apart.
Yeah. So.
We did get a couple of bits of information on some other projects. The new Disney cruise line is going to be called the Treasure. And it'll be an Aladdin Jasmine themed kind of ship cruise.
Yeah.
But the bigger news for us is that we do have the Wonder, which will be going to Australia and New Zealand.
And that is a cruise, like, I will get... I mean, okay, so, like, the Disney Wish looks amazing and stuff, and I would go on that, but, like, to be on a Disney cruise that's going to go to Australia and New Zealand, yes, that I will...
I have been very adamant about wanting to go on a cruise. You've just kind of been about, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So, I think this might be the one that finally gets our feet wet in the cruising world, and I'm very interested to see when this all starts and the pricing on it. But we're gonna have a Disney cruise that goes to Australia and New Zealand.
Yes.
We got a couple of different bits of information from parks around the world. A little update on Fantasy Springs, which looks amazing.
Yes.
That's something that we've been talking about for like a long time now, about going over to Tokyo. We didn't want to do that until Fantasy Springs was done.
Yes.
And some new Frozen and Tangled and Zootopia themed areas throughout the world. But those are sadly across.
Yeah, and like I know
the
Fantasy
ocean.
Springs has been taking a long time, and I know COVID has put a big wreck in that plan. So so it's still on our bucket list. That's definitely I think our number one park that we would like to go to. So, but yeah, definitely waiting until that at least that's done. So I would hate to visit. That's not even complete. Not even yeah. So but yeah, so just a couple updates, like couple looks at like the ride vehicles from over there. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. All right, so we are going to move on from overseas up to
back to the mainland.
Yeah, I guess back to the mainland, but up to the blue sky.
Yes. We got a little presentation on some blue sky projects, which aren't necessarily something that is confirmed to be happening or that they're actively working on. It's just, here's what we could be doing.
Which was really exciting because Jennifer Lee was out for this part, and really like her. So if you haven't watched the making of Frozen 2,
the documentary on Disney Plus, definitely do so because she carries it, I feel.
Yes. But anyways, so these are just kind of up in the sky ideas that they're kind of.
I feel like this was like kind of like Josh D'Amaro's like inspiration board. He's like, hey, Disney fans, what do you think about all these cutouts of things that I put on my inspo board?
Right. That, or I feel like they were kind of like listening to like just us Disney fans, like what are the Disney fans kind of like talking about? Because I feel like some of these like we've like said like, hey Disney, this would be a great idea, and
like there's something in here like I've been pushing for like years on. So
and I think they did it this way just because like I think with like COVID and everything, they didn't want to make promises or get us too excited about things that might not happen. But I don't know, this was really fun to kind of see what they have come up with, like some ideas.
So we've gotten the two main areas of these blue sky projects that they've kind of went over. The first one was for Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And what to do with Dinoland USA.
Yes, because it needs some help.
It needs some help. They got rid of pretty much half of the like Chester and Hester's.
Yeah, because Primeval Whirl like hadn't been operating for a while, and
even when it was just seasonal. So
so that's all tore down. So they're just kind of like, well, what do we put there?
And the main, I think a lot of people were hoping for Zootopia. We did get a little bit. It seemed like there might be an idea of maybe some Zootopia, but there was a lot of Moana.
Yeah, it was very heavy on Moana. So they did say maybe Zootopia, but then I think they kind of meshed them together. So it was a lot of Moana stuff on there, but then maybe a little bit of Zootopia. I'm fine with either of those. I'm fine with a mix of those. I
don't like either of those.
Okay, what are you?
I do think that Wakanda would fit better in that area. I do think that is an easier IP to add into the park. I feel like it's very much along the same vein of Avatar and Pandora. Like you can make it like that. I do think that, and I remember Joe Rohde, the Imagineer who kind of took over and kind of made Animal Kingdom what it is today. He is very much against putting Zootopia or they want to keep the characters without pants, essentially. And I do agree with him to that. I don't think that as much as I think that Zootopia would be really awesome in there.
Yeah. And they're already doing it overseas.
They're already doing it overseas.
So I kind of like the idea of them doing something else.
I do. And then with Moana, like we do have a cool, unique educational Moana exhibits coming to Epcot. So I feel like maybe do a different IP. Like
yes. Do you have one in mind, or do you? I mean, I know I had suggested one the other day.
I like Wakanda. I like Black Panther.
Okay, I do like that one too. I also think Raya in the last. In the Last Dragon. I think because like there was supposed to be a Beastly Kingdom in Animal Kingdom, and I feel like this might be a way to like
still incorporate
that, but use a current IP that you don't see hardly anywhere. Like there is a Raya meet and greet out in Disneyland,
And she's an official Disney princess now, so it's, it would be fitting.
I feel like that would probably be like maybe my number one. I do like Wakanda though. But again, like if they put Zootopia on Moana, am I gonna be mad? No, because like whatever they put there is gonna be better than what they have right now. So yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully they kind of branch out from Zootopia and Moana. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be mad if that does happen.
Yeah. So then switching parks and going over to the Magic Kingdom, they pose this question of what's beyond Big Thunder?
Something I never thought about. Like I did, like in my mind, like that really wasn't like, I guess an option to expand back there, but oh my gosh, am I excited?
Yes. And I will say that if this does come to fruition, be prepared for the railroad to be down again, because they're going to have to cut the railroad off to expand out that park. There is tons of room. I went on to Google Maps and I'm like, oh yeah, there's tons of stuff over here, but the railroad goes through there. So it's either they're, putting a bridge over it, but they're still going to have to probably close it down, or they're going to have to reroute that train again. So be prepared for the train to never open up.
I don't know. Maybe there'll be a little bit of a break. But again, this is a blue sky.
It may happen, it may not happen. It's just wanting to gauge some opinions. But we've gotten a couple different IPs themes to go back there that I think that we really enjoy.
Oh my gosh. I like Magic Kingdom would probably be, I don't know, I might beat out Epcot for my favorite park if this happens. So they announced like 3 big areas, like and that's the thing, like they seem big, like not just like little like things to do,
like multiple attractions, multiple places to eat. Like this is like full-fledged like lands, like a whole new fantasy land or a whole new Tomorrowland out there.
I don't know what they would even call this area.
I don't know.
But anyways, so they announced Coco, Encanto,
and then
Villains
Lair.
Oh my gosh,
I have been for the longest time advocating for a 5th park or 5th gate to be a villain's land. Like I think that would be so cool. It would fit. Like it's completely something like you have Magic Kingdom. It's so bright and cheery and beautiful and wonderful and like whimsical and magical. And then a stark contrast have like Villain's Kingdom, where it's just like it's Maleficent's castle and everything just seems like really spooky and haunted. Like that would be really, really awesome for me. But they're not going to do a full park like that. But to see it maybe get incorporated a little bit into the park would be fantastic. If this happens, like I don't know, this is good. This would be amazing. And just how beautiful Coco and Encanto are, and like they would go so well together. Like I can't, like my Disney heart cannot take that. I'm just imagining like a ride kind of along the veins of like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, or like one of those like those classic Fantasyland dark rides in Disneyland. But it's you going through all the different rooms in the Casa Madrigal.
Yeah. Well, and they even said, like, you can explore the casita and, like, see, like, the rooms and stuff. They said, like, with Coco, you can explore, like, the Land of the Dead and,
You're there on Dia dos Muertos?
Yeah.
If I'm saying that correctly.
And you can ride in El Habrije? Yeah. Like, yes, please. yes. To everything.
And those 2 IPs just go well, like so well with one another, just like in their landscapes and like their storytelling. It would just make so much sense. And then, having that kind of be on the forefront, but if you're looking at it from the back end, having Big Thunder Mountain be the backdrop of like this little town here, sounds really, really incredible.
Yes.
I mean, this is a project that if it's happening is probably like 10 years out.
Oh yeah,
for sure, at least 10 years out in the future here. But with how big Coco and Encanto are, it doesn't make sense to not incorporate them more into the parks. And I feel like this is a really, really good way. It's a really, really good area to incorporate them in. Yeah,
so hopefully this happens. Well, in both those. I mean, obviously they're going to do something with Dino Land. They need to. Like that area is so dead over there. Also with Dino Land, like what do they do with dinosaur? Because
I know, because that's one of your favorite rides.
I love dinosaurs, so I hope they keep like the ride layout, but hopefully they can like retheme it to whatever is.
And see, I think
there.
like if they did it like if they change it to a Wakanda theme, like you could be like the Black Panther could be asking you to go try finding some stolen, like Ulysses Claw had stolen some vibranium, and you're in the Jeep, going through the dark caverns of a vibranium mine to try getting Claw and getting that vibranium back. It could still be the dark ride. You could still have these like twists and turns. Instead of dinosaurs, you could have like, you know, like rhinos or something like charging at you. You could have like a superhero like fighting, you know, up above. Like you could still have that. Still keep the same ride layout and everything.
That would be fun,
right?
Okay. Also, but if they did Raya, and they were doing like a ride, you know, overhaul of dinosaur to fit that, what if they could make the ride vehicles to look like tuk-tuks? And you get to ride in tuk-tuk and go on some kind of adventure.
Yes!
Wouldn't that be fun?
So much fun!
Oh my gosh! I like that. I like both of those. Like I said, I
think either of those are better than Zootopia and Moana. I love Moana, I love Zootopia, but I just don't want them in that park. I don't think that they necessarily fit the animal, especially like Moana. Like I don't feel like there's not a whole lot of animal centric like themes. It's a water based, you know, it's a water themed movie, so like it doesn't make sense in an animal theme park. Like if you brought like Moana to, like if you like took over like Typhoon Lagoon, oh my gosh, and like rethemed like one of the water parks to Moana, total sense, makes absolute sense. It just doesn't, like for me personally, doesn't feel like it fits in to Animal Kingdom. But again, these are just blue sky projects. They may happen, they may not happen. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is like, they're not cutting any tape or, you know, digging any, you know, making any projects happen anytime soon. But I think, again, this is just like, hey, Disney fans, what do you think about this? And I think this was more or less just their way of like, let's gauge some opinions first.
Right. And like we said earlier, I think they just didn't want to make any promises that they couldn't really keep, just with everything that happened with COVID, you know, because they had announced quite a bit in 2019 that just really didn't happen.
Yeah, so I guess kind of to end today's episode, like, do you feel like overwhelmed or underwhelmed by it? And do you think like maybe like them not you know, not keeping those or not making too big of promises? Do you think that was that like tactical from Disney's standpoint?
I guess like the announcement of Happily Ever After aside,
who cares after that? Who cares after that?
I think like if you get like the one thing you've been wanting, like, you know, everything else is just extra. But yeah, overall, I would say it's maybe on the more underwhelming side, just because there weren't a lot of like confirmed, yes, this is happening kind of stuff.
And a lot of the stuff that we did get confirmations on, like Tron or something like that, like it's already stuff that we know is happening.
Right,
we're just waiting for
we already knew, like, obviously Tron was going to open somewhat soon. You know, and so that's why I said earlier, like when we got like the Figment meet and greet or the Hatbox Ghost is coming, you know, that's stuff that they can implement relatively quickly, and get like a better payoff like sooner, I guess, you know. So I wish they would have done more of that, and they can do that like with meet and greets. Like if they were to announce like some more meet and greets coming, especially to Disney World, because I feel like that lacks,
especially
so
in
much.
Animal Kingdom. There's like hardly any meet and greets in Animal Kingdom
so I'm
right
just
now.
like, bring some more meet and greets back. Maybe like, you know, kind of retheme some stuff that's already there. Like it doesn't have to be like these brand new amazing lands. Like, yes, those are cool, but those take a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of things can change. You know, so I'm like, maybe start retheming some stuff that's already there, you know, like the Tomorrowland Speedway, like that needs a retheme. Like fix that. Like it's tough to be a bug, like, you know, fix that, or like add some more like shows to some places. You know, some other like smaller things that can like draw in like new crowds, or maybe like, you know,
at least freshen up the experience a little bit,
you know, or like suck some of the crowds away from like other places. Like I feel like in Hollywood studios, like you could freshen up all of the stage shows, you know, just retheme them, like do something. You have that whole Little Mermaid section that's not being used. Like do something like, so I wish they would have like made more of those kind of announcements.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was more hoping for.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's I do agree with you that I feel like I'm underwhelmed by it, and I think a lot of it just stems from the last D23 prior to COVID. They made some like pretty grand, you know, promises, and then COVID hit, and they're like, well, we can't really do those anymore. We don't have the cash flow for it, or whatever the case might be. So like, if they don't overpromise,
right,
then you know, people might feel underwhelmed. But if they can at least capitalize and like, you know, do what they are promising, like the whole blue sky thing, like none of that was a promise,
right?
None of that was confirmed. None of that was, and there was people that like, oh yeah, they're bringing in content. No, they're not.
None of that is confirmed. That's just all ideas right now. There's nothing greenlit about any of that,
right?
So,
so it'll be interesting to see, you know, maybe in 2 years what the next D23 Expo will bring to us. But obviously, we had tons of information and tons of announcements that I do feel like I don't want to say that we've been spoiled as a Disney fan. But we've gotten lots of good updates, lots of you know, things to look forward to. It just maybe might not be as big or grandiose as maybe some fans were kind of hoping for.
Yeah, and I guess like for me, like they don't have to be that grand. Like if they did confirm like those lands, like, you know, I mean, yeah, that's great, but like you're not going to actually see those for like years. Like look how long Tron, like one attraction, like I can't imagine how long like a brand new land is going to take. So that's why I'm okay, like just kind of update like some things now, and you know, and then maybe, you know, work on some of those bigger lands. But you know, I just feel like there's so many things in each park that could use some help, use some updates, changes, that I think could be a quicker payoff, and be really helpful to like the overall experience to going to those parks. You know, so I wish they kind of would have went more of that route.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was an exciting panel. Like, you know, it's kind of fun to like dream or think of like these things. But I mean, but then on the other hand, it's like, you know, they're not actually for sure happening. So
yeah,
I don't know.
And it's, you know, they'll announce more, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they're very meticulous in what they should be or can be announcing. So there's going to be more between now and the next D23, but we got tons of fun stuff to look forward to. We've got tons of movies to look forward to. We're already seeing some of the implementation of some of these ideas already. You know, we didn't even mention something like, you know, they're finally confirming that Magic Happens Parade is coming back to Disneyland.
Gosh, finally.
That's taking forever. So like there's still stuff to look forward to going forward here. And you know, turning the page from like kind of ending the Disney World's 50th anniversary to focusing on the Walt Disney Company's 100th anniversary. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of fun stuff ahead for Disney, and this D23 Expo is just a way to kind of highlight some of those bits and pieces for us to get us ready and get us excited for this next, presumably another year and a half long celebration of the Disney company. So,
yes.
But we'd like to hear, or like to know what you think about these announcements. Were you underwhelmed by it? Or is there something that you're really looking forward to and to seeing?
Like, please let me know how excited you guys are for Happily Ever After to come back. Like, we did it, guys. Like, we told Disney.
We did it, Joe. We did it.
We did it. Yeah. So I guess, like, what are you most excited about? What were you disappointed by? Like, I don't know. Just, let us know what you think.
Yeah. We want to thank everyone for listening or watching, and for all the support you guys give us. If you guys could subscribe and like and follow along, we really appreciate that. It makes us feel like, you know, this is all worth it.
Right.
You know, we're doing something that everyone, you know, really loves and enjoys as much as we do. And so we've got some fun stuff planned up here in the future. We can't wait to talk to you guys all about it in future episodes. But for this episode of the D23 Expo edition of the Team Unicorn podcast, my name is Tyler.
I'm Sammy.
And it's been magical.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Team Unicorn podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and review wherever you are listening, and follow us on Instagram to keep up with all things Team Unicorn. And remember, stay magical.